All right, so in this video, I'm going to discuss the BRICS situation. Now, a lot of people are very bullish. A lot of people feel BRICS is the future. That is where all the countries want to join. The BRICS is getting stronger and stronger. The demand is increasing. There's a lot of people who have reached out to me, have asked me to make a video on the whole BRICS situation. How does that compare with, let's say, the NATO alliance? What is the future of BRICS? And I've covered this extensively in my other video. Now, if you have missed the very important video on the future of BRICS, you can always return and take a look at the link that appears above that video. It talks about the entire prospects, my whole assessment and analysis on the future of the BRICS expansion. Well, now, if you look at the BRICS, there are 5 key countries in the BRICS, which is Brazil, you have Russia, India, China, and you have South Africa. Now, the 2 Asian countries don't allow dual citizenship, so obviously those are out. I'll stay away from those 2 countries because obviously they don't allow dual citizenships. If you're looking for multiple passports, multiple citizenships, then those are out of the way. If you look at Russia, it's currently sanctioned. I personally don't recommend any citizenships at this time with sanctioned countries, unless, of course, you have some very unique and special reasons to do that. But my personal opinion at this time, I would be careful. Now, if Russia, let's say, is out of the picture for a lot of people, let's say the Asian countries are out of the equation, then what is left? There are only 2 countries that are left here. One is Brazil, a very, very important citizenship, an extremely solid and a strong passport. That's the key. One of the key options in Latin America is it gets you coverage within the Mercosur. It gets you access to so many other different countries. And then South Africa gets you access to the African region. So let's say you're a Westerner, you're looking for coverage, looking for more citizenship coverage, then you have 2 excellent options to be prepared for. With nations within the BRICS alliance, you have the entire Latin America at your disposal with that all-important Brazilian citizenship, and then you have African coverage with the all-important South African citizenship. Now, the South African passport is actually a hidden gem. It has some very exotic and unique access, which really complements your Latin citizenship, let's say with Brazil. And if you are a Westerner, then it's the icing on the cake. You have a very exotic, solid setup with your passport portfolio. Now, Elon Musk, obviously, in addition to his US citizenship, also holds the South African citizenship. So he has that advantage in the Africas if he needs it. So similarly, there's an opportunity to gain that all-important South African citizenship and then be ready for the BRICS expansion in future. If, let's say, the UAE or Argentina or other nations join the BRICS, and if there's more freedom that's introduced, then you already have that coverage with citizenships in these 2 countries. Now, how do you get the citizenship in Brazil? Now, Brazil has 4 options where you can obtain citizenships, and I've discussed all these options in a great amount of detail, with the prices, the cheapest being 28K USD approximately in your own business. So if you do this investment, satisfy some conditions, you can actually work yourself towards that all important Brazilian passport and citizenship in future. If you've missed my coverage on the entire Brazilian option, the 4 options with Brazil, you can return and take a look at this video. This talks about this entire application in a lot of detail. The second option is South Africa. This is the cheapest, can't get any cheaper than this. If you have a certain modest net worth requirements, all that you're looking at is $6,800 US approximately. That is the government fees. There'll be some lawyer charges and agency fees, etc. But at that low price point, you can directly get a permanent residency in South Africa. The biggest magical thing about a lot of people, crazy people, I would say, talk about how unsafe it is and how you can't live there and all of that. That is where a flexible residency is key, where you can spend as much as you want. If you believe and love South Africa, I personally feel it's reasonably safe. If you use some common sense and some brains, you should be okay, right? A lot of people go to Latin America. It's kind of the similar situation. You got to be careful with what you're doing. But even if you want to, let's say, not spend as much time in South Africa, you obviously have that flexibility with a flexible permanent residency option. Now, this can eventually get you citizenship towards the end. Let's say you've lived in the country for 1 year. In the 4th year, then you can qualify for your South African citizenship. Now, if you've missed my very detailed coverage on how you can obtain the South African permanent residency, you can return and take a look at this video. This talks about the entire option in a lot of detail. And if you are looking to get started with either of these 2 options, you can always click the link in the description, book a call with with us. We can discuss this in a lot more detail and also get you started with either of these options or any other option of your choice. And if you haven't already, make sure to turn on the bell notification and subscribe, because it helps this channel grow. It helps me get you premium content, my analysis, news breaks, and a whole lot more. All right, catch you in the next one.